Good evening to all. I am Anuj from Nature Walk Charitable Trust, and on behalf of our trust, I welcome you all for the website launch www.naturewalktrust.org. Today we have with us Honorable Chief Wildlife Warden of Maharashtra, Mr. Nitin Kakodkar, Dr. Rajesh Gopal, Secretary General of Global Tiger Forum and former Member Secretary of NTCA. We have additional PCCF Mr. Sunil Limay. We have Mr. Rajesh Bedi, renowned wildlife photographer. And we have Mr. Kedar Bhatt, who is an avid photographer and Sony artisan, as well as the person who has made this website. So I once again welcome you all. NatureWalk is a registered trust, and we have been working in the field of wildlife education since last many years. As a part of the same, we do organize nature walks, slideshows on various facets of nature. We have been conducting a lot of wildlife festivals, bird fest, conducting some medical camps in the villages which are located on the fringe areas of different protected areas. We have also been conducting guide training and guards training program for various protected areas in Maharashtra as well as outside Maharashtra. After doing a little bit of work, we thought that we are lacking documentation, and that is where the concept of a website came. And we finally approached Kedar Bhatt, and this is how the entire website, the concept was taken forward. Now, if you see at the website after the launch, obviously we are still in the process to update. अभी तक पूरा data उस पे डाला नहीं है, but we thought that let's formally inaugurate it and then we'll keep it updating. Without taking much of time, I would request Kedar to talk a little bit about the website and importance of having everything digitalized nowadays. Over to you, Kedar.
Yeah. So good evening, everybody. And as you know, photography is one part, but I also do some website designing, and it has been my long time hobby and hobby turned profession for a long time. This particular website, in fact, interesting thing is me and Anuj are meeting physically for the first time, even after designing that website. Right from the conception till the launch, we haven't met. It was all online. Basically, a website is like you need to have a website today as against a social media platform where you just post everything and everything goes back, and you need the complete documentation of whatever work any organization does, and that's the basic thing that drives into making a website. So once it's launched, we can have a look. We have a lot of interactive features on it. There will be regular news updates. Whenever Nature Walk will have any events, there will be live telecast on the website. So you can just visit the website. It will be telecast on the website whenever it happens. And regularly there will be updates. It's a dynamic website. Some part is not dynamic. So now I think we are ready to go for the launch, or hand over to Anuj.
Thank you so much. I would request Kakodkar sir to launch the website now.
Thank you, Anuj, and good evening to everyone. I declare the website as launched.
Thank you. Just refresh the page and it will be on now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. I would request Kakodkar sir to share his views.
This is a great initiative by Nature Walk, and I've been associated with Nature Walk now for I think about 10 years directly, and before that, of course, I had been hearing of it. And Anuj has been doing a great job in helping the forest department in various training programs for the frontline staff, which is a very important thing, and not only on aspects such as wildlife, but also the training I think that he does is also related to human resource management and issues in psychology and so many other things. So that is, of course, something which is unique to whatever has been done by Nature Walk. Another thing that I would like to mention here is that in the ongoing pandemic crisis of COVID-19, Nature Walk has been able to garner a lot of funds from various sources for providing ration to a lot of guides who have unfortunately not been engaged in their usual duties because of no tourism in the tiger reserves. So I think he's already sent out aid in the form of ration and even direct funds to Navegaon, Nagzira, Melghat Tiger Reserve, Panna Tiger Reserve in MP, and also Sayadri Tiger Reserve, apart from other places which, and he has been doing this continuously. So great work, Nature Walk, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Your word means a lot to us. Sir, now I would request Rajesh Bedi sir to share his views. So can you hear me? So request to hold on for a minute. Audio. Bedi sir, am I audible? Hello, Bedi sir, am I audible? It seems there is some issue with the audio. I would request Lima sir to share his views, please.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Right, okay. You want me to say something?
Yes, sir. Sir, request to share your views.
I think the earlier speaker has covered the entire thing, what you have been doing and how you have been helping in COVID-19, the staff in various national parks. And apart from that, that's a great job, and hats off to your organization and especially you, collecting the funds and organizing it to, send it across. Secondly, this designing or launching the website, I think it's a great thing because it's going to educate youngsters, educate people who are interested in wildlife, who wants to know about wildlife, who wants to know how they can go into the field, children who wants to know how to go about bird watching. So this website is going to go very far and is going to help youngsters, and this is what we need. For any conservation effort, I think any visual material, any reading material to go with the visual certainly is going to help. And I'm amazed, without meeting the designer and you could design the website. I'm sure that you are going to update sooner or later. But I would like to thank you all the panelists for their time, and hope this website is very successful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for always being with us. Now I would request our additional PCC of Wildlife, Mr. Sunil Lima, to share his views. Lima sir, just unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Now, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, good evening and namaskar to all. First of all, congratulations to Anuj and Anu's team. Kedar is sitting there. I can see Mr. Rathi. Then I could see Chaubal, Pushkar Chaubal, each and everybody. I am associated with Anuj for more than 15 years. And when I was there in Pune at CCF Wildlife, I always used to tell Anuj Khare and Nature Walk to see the civil face of the forest department. Many things he used to do on behalf of the forest department. He is helping forest department a lot. And Kakodkar sir and Bedi sir has told what he has done during this COVID-19. a lot of help has been given by Anuj and his team. He did a great work in Sayari Tiger Reserve, then Melghat also, then our Nagzera. All the things that he is doing for the wildlife conservation is the best. He's always helping the forest department. And the best part about Anuj and his team, they are always in liaison with the forest department. When I was there in Pune, any organization or any other group used to say that कि sir वो Anuj से ये काम करना वो काम करना. So Anuj is there everywhere. Same that Anuj team also, he is not the only person over there. Many persons working with the Anuj, they are doing a great job. And Anuj, I think that you have launched this website, and the best part is the person who launched this website, our best forester, who is Nitin Kakodkar, Chief Wildlife Warden. And today is great that Rajesh Gopal sir is also here, because myself and Nitin, we both are the disciples of Rajesh Gopal sir, to listen to him also. And once again, congratulations and all the best for this website. I think your association with the forest department will remain, only because after 1 or 2 years, myself, Nitin Kakodkar, will get retired. But Nature Walk Trust will be always there with the forest department. I wish you all the success.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for being with us. I would now request Dr. Rajesh Gopal, sir, to share his views.
Thank you, Anuj. Anuj, let me compliment you and your wonderful team for this excellent initiative. I'm really delighted and feel very good to see you all. Sunil Limai ji and Nitin Kakodkar ji, you, your team, and of course, hearing Rajesh, Bedi ji, Bhatt ji, everyone. So we have been interacting for quite some time, and since last so many years, I had the good fortune of coming to Pune several times, and you had invited me, Sunil Limai ji had invited me, all my students who were with me in those days in Coimbatore, they were all there. It was a very touching moment for me in one of those occasions when you had invited me. So your organization, your team is a dedicated, passionate lot, and you have been doing quite a bit on this front, eliciting public support at the young age group and different levels. And I always found all your events very well attended. A lot of people used to come. In fact, in one of the events, there was shortage of space also in Pune, when I remember 4 or 5 years back. So my big compliment to you and your team for the wonderful website. And I must say, this is the beginning of the citizen science. Though it may be a new normal to interact like this, but creating an innovative website and making it very live and active, getting the views of people. I mean, so many innovations have happened over the past, and in the recent years, many things have happened. And I'm sure the designer and you and your team, you have really worked hard to make this happen. So thank you once again, and I look forward to a great interaction, collaboration with you. The Global Tiger Forum, in which I am there at present, is collaborating with you, and we have been sharing our logo in several of your initiatives. We will continue to do that, and look forward to great collaborative in the coming future, near future. So my best wishes and compliments to you and your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot to us. So now we have few questions, and we will go for a small question and answer session. This first question is for our Chief Wildlife Warden, Mr. Nitin Kakodkar. Sir, a lot of news has been appearing, and it is saying that 50 tigers are being translocated. So I would request to throw some light on the news. For this specific question is for Kakodkar, sir.
Well, Anuj, it is a long story, but and I don't know how it would not be justified to do this here, but I'll just give a brief of what has been happening. Chandrapur district is a district with 11,000 square kilometers area and 11,500 square kilometers area. And it has something like 1800 villages in it. And the tiger population in the state is right now 312 as per, not right now, as per the 2018 report of the All India Tiger Estimation. It is 312, out of which in Chandrapur district itself, in 2018 we had something like 160 plus tigers, which did not include the subadults and the cubs, specifically the cubs. And we have a problem of plenty there. And the area outside the Tadobandhari Tiger Reserve is a very, very fragmented area with patches of forest interspersed with villages, agricultural land, and you have all kinds of forest resource used by the people. And because of which there have been continued human deaths because of tiger attacks in the past few years, and this has really gone up in the last 2 years or so. Already in 2020, we are not even in the middle of the year, and we already had about 13 deaths, human deaths in Chandrapur district alone. Last year we had 25 deaths in the year, and this year by the today is 29th of May, we already have 13 deaths. And it's a very crucial issue, and issue which needs to be discussed, debated at various forums. And the only hope here is that people really start looking at this problem. And we have to, of course, we are doing whatever we do normally, and we have been doing that, and we'll continue to do that. But there are certain radical decisions which have to be taken. I understand the issues. My main focus is conservation of the species. That is the tiger. That is the uppermost thing in my mind. And the second uppermost thing in my mind is that I don't want to lose a single forest guard through lynching. And that is something that that is, I suppose, my duty, my foremost duty, to protect the tiger and to protect my forest guard. So keeping that in mind, we have, it's just a proposal. No decisions have been taken. We need to discuss it, debate it. Maybe somebody would come out with better alternatives. I just wanted to make one clarification here, that there is a news item today which mentions neutering. Now, neutering and sterilization are two totally different things. We have not proposed neutering. Let me make it very clear. Neutering is absolutely unthinkable. And that's why I just wanted to make it clear that we have not proposed neutering. So that is one clarification that I thought I should give to people who have been listening. Dr. Rajesh Gopal has been a guru, and I am sure that he would have faith in whatever we have proposed. There could be issues. I understand the issues. It's not an easy thing to translocate even 5 tigers, forget 50 tigers. But this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over a period of time. And then what do you do with the tigers? Are going to get replaced in no time. You remove one tiger, it's going to get replaced by another one. So you need to take a serious note of this. People need to discuss. I want people to come out with alternatives, not the usual alternatives. We are all aware of the normal alternatives. That's all that I wanted to say. Thank you.
So thank you so much. I think this has already answered a lot of queries. So thank you so much. I would go to Dr. Rajesh Gopal, sir. I would like to ask the global scenario of tigers, sir. What is the status of India as compared to tigers in other tiger range countries?
Yeah, this is the status of the scenario in India is very good. And there is no comparison. I would rather put it that way, because you have 13 tiger range countries, and India has the maximum number of tigers and maximum number of tiger source areas, tiger reserves, or their buffer areas all put together, and more than 2.3% of a country's geographical area is in the tiger domain. So no country has this kind of conservation strategy practices in place and the kind of fieldcraft and the refinements which have happened over the course of time under Project Tiger, and putting it with a statutory backing and so many other good practices coming from the field. So I think India is leading, and there are practices which others can emulate from India. The way India has conserved the in situ in an in situ approach. Now, countries like Malaysia, Cambodia, and others in the Southeast Asia are very keen to pick up the basics, so that they can revive their tiger populations. It's in a very rather alarming situation. The status is bad in Southeast Asia. Cambodia, you don't have tigers. Laos, PDR, you don't have tigers. Vietnam, you don't have tigers. So you have a few in Myanmar, Malaysia, and then South Asia, of course. Indonesia, you do have in Southeast Asia. South Asia, you have India is leading, and of course there are good practices in Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. But India stands apart, and Russia and China, I don't think they have a viable population, but Russia they do have. But the harsh climatic conditions and the kind of practices they have of permitted hunt of prey animals beyond the source area through licenses, that has affected the tiger population. So to cut the long story short, India has done very well, needs to do more. And even though you have not asked me, I must say here what I need to add something to what Nitinji said. So I just want to assure everyone, both Nitin as well as Sunil Limai have been my best students. I've taught them, and I don't know, I have taught them in a very nice way. I can't say that it's for them to judge, but tiger is in very safe hands there in Maharashtra. So whatever Kakotkar Saab was telling, that is active management. I'm good he clarified that I was a little concerned when I saw news clipping this forenoon. Somebody WhatsApped me. I said, with these people there, I don't think this kind of a thing could be thought of as a proposal in Maharashtra. But you see, you do need active management, because some of these highly productive areas are characterized by a very sensitive interface. And wherever such co-occurrences are there, you have to pick them up. You have to revive other areas. The National Tiger Conservation Authority has an SOP where every state has been requested to come out with a list of protected areas which have the potential to revive them, and so that these tigers can be translocated there. And the prey-predator relationships and the source dynamics, everything, source and sink dynamics can be rebuilt there. So good thing. Okay.
So thank you so much. So it's nice to learn that India is doing good regarding tiger conservation. And obviously, we all are sure that Maharashtra Forest Department is in the best hands, because we have officers like Limai sir, we have Nitin Kakotkar sir. Now I would request Pushkar. Pushkar?
Yeah.
Pushkar,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. My first question is to Bedi sir. Bedi sir, you are well known for the wildlife filmmaking. From the audience perspective, I would like to ask, which is the project you are currently working on? And is it the snow leopard, the film is getting ready, or what is the timeline you are looking at?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. In fact, we have been working on snow leopard films since last 5 years. Now is almost in final stages. We have started recording the commentary, and it's not going to be one film, it's going to be 3 films. There are 2 films on snow leopard, part 1 and part 2. And the 3rd film is going to be Himalayan ibex. So I have already promised in my last visit when I came to Pune that we are going to have the premiere in Pune. That is the current situation, and hopefully in another 2 months, I think we we will be ready to launch the film. Now, there's one question which I would like to ask the panelists, the experts, how we are going to deal with tiger tourism, the way the tiger is harassed by 40 vehicles, 40 jeeps, maybe sometime more than 40 jeeps. How we departments are going to handle this problem? Anyone can answer. If you're ready, I'm very happy to hear. Or Rajesh Gopalji, or
Who is supposed to?
Yes, sir. I'll be very happy to hear from you.
Oh, you need answer from me or?
From you, sir.
Okay.
He's the right person.
No, good that you raised this point, and I'm very happy because it is really distressing to see so many vehicles surrounding poor tiger. And unfortunately, over the last few years, this has become more of a regular feature or regular scene when we have these vehicles, and not only in one tiger reserve, but I think many tiger reserve wherever tiger is seen. Unfortunately, but a good thing that has happened because of COVID is that if you have been able to see our field staff, frontline staff has been putting out videos now every Friday, but initially every day on just like people would go on a safari and what they would see. And the best part of that is that they have been able to explain to the people what to look for apart from the tiger. And that I think that is the message that we should be able to deliver to people, that there are n number of things in a forest. I need not tell you that, you know much more,
Yes.
and being behind the camera, you know how observant and what all the things that you have been able to bring to us through your lovely films. So yes, it is a message that needs to be conveyed to people that tiger, of course, is there. Tiger is a very charismatic animal, and even after all these years, we would also like to, whenever we visit the forest, we would like to see a tiger. But there is a way in which you need to see it, and we have to instill a sense of discipline. That is very essential. I agree to that.
I would like to add here, sir, when I go to Corbett and you see a vehicle coming from the opposite direction, they will stop and ask you, have you seen the tiger? I said, there's so many elephants. Why don't you enjoy elephant? No. We have come only to see the tiger. And exactly what you are saying is that we have to educate people, and people like Anuj and his organization. This is their role. They should be coming forward in educating masses. Is not only the tiger you have come to see in the forest. See birds, see other animals, and go back with the to carry some good message. And this is where Anuj role comes, I think, very strongly.
Pushkar?
Yes, sir. Sir, we fully agree with you. In fact, some of the tourism, I mean the tours what we take, we do take efforts to educate people that even if you don't see the tigers, you should see the entire forest, not only as the tiger-centric tourism. So that's the message we also try to give all the time.
Yeah, I know it is going to be very difficult to convince people that if you don't see the tiger, go back happily. I think it's very difficult. It's a hard job.
In fact, the training program we carry out for the guides, we tell them that the tourists should go back even without seeing the tiger, to say that we will be back again to the tiger reserve to see the rest of the forest again.
This is where I think, as a filmmaker, this is where our role is very important, because we make films and people can't go there and see. Slow leopard, at least they can enjoy the film, and they can feel happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words.
Okay, thank you, Pushkar. There was one more question which I wanted to ask to Limay, sir. Sir, now you are the additional PCCF Wildlife West. So how is the scenario about the Western Ghats? All the protected areas in the Western Ghats. So we would like you to throw some light on that.
I think Anuj, as far as Western Ghat is concerned, we are seeing what's happening, what the people are saying, what's the government stand, what is forest department stand. Just as there news in the paper also regarding the exclusion of certain villages from the Western Ghat eco-sensitive area. But I think government will take the right decision, and Chief Wildlife Warden has already submitted it. As far as other protected areas are concerned, it's fine. All the areas are great over here, except for a few areas in Jalgaon. You must have heard that always there will be problem of encroachment, especially FRA. All the claimants who are claiming the rights under FRA, always there will be some problem. But I think we are having good ties with the revenue officials also. We are speaking with them. We are trying to see that their claims will be settled in a particular way as early as possible. When all messed up, and with the help of the police department at most of the places, we are trying to have some good relation with the tribals also. Most of the NGOs I know, I always speak with them, and we try to see that less and less number of people will be there in the enclosed forest land. Few days back, I had been to Yawal because most of the area, northern part of the Yawal has been encroached by the forest rights claimant from the Madhya Pradesh. We are taking action against them. As you are aware, Mumbai is a very hot spot. It is only because of COVID-19 also, and the best urban forest area is Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So encroachment problems are there. We are doing our best. We are taking the help of the local people, NGOs and police. But on an average, yes, it's doing great. But at some places, especially urban forest area and where there are more claims like Tansa and Yawal, we are facing some problem. But hopefully we will do the needful, and with the help of the police people and NGOs, we are trying to find out a solution in our areas. But otherwise, as far as a healthy population of animals is concerned, yes, everywhere the population is pretty good. Numbers of the animals, that those are increasing. Even if you see the number of leopards in Sanjay Gandhi National Park, now they have crossed 45. So now, and because it's lockdown and each and everything, you can see a lot of animals in our areas. See, poaching used to be a very great problem in certain parts of the Western Ghats, especially sanctuary like Bhima Shankar. But regular alert people, my staff, 24/7 running helpline, we are doing a good job over there. And I think the wildlife and overall management of the protected areas in the Western Ghats is quite good.
Thank you so much, sir. We have 2-3 minutes more. I can see Sanjay Deshpande ji also joining this. So Sanjay Dada, do you want to share anything, want to ask anything to the panelists?
One thing, with all stalwarts on one platform, Nitin Dada, Sunil Dada, good evening. And first of all, congrats to Anuj and all your team. Nitin Dada, as we are regularly discussing about number of tigers and relocation and space for them. See, there is an urban development department for humans, which I always used to debate with my other friends. There is an urban development department for humans, and that's why most of the land in our state is being utilized for purposes which are meant for humans, like industry, residential, and then all transportation and everything, whatever. We agreed they are part of development. But the question which forest department right now dealing with from your inputs, which I get to know, it's about place for or space for tigers. So why can't you tie up forest department with urban development department and create spaces or pockets of forest for tigers? Because they are the one who are authority on land. Rather demand a post of IFS officer in urban development department. That is very much important, I will tell you.
I think, yeah, I think this question can be answered by Kakodkar sir. Sir,
this is just a radical. You said radical solution, so the radical thought I said.
Kakodkar sir, are you there?
Nahi hai, Nitin Dada nahi hai. Sunil Dada can guide.
Okay.
No, see, only simple question answer I can give. Why only the urban department need Indian Forest officer? I will say that the state chief secretary should be an IFS officer. Then
Exactly.
it will
Exactly.
change. Otherwise, nobody listen to the forest department. Leave apart urban development department. Nobody wants the forest officer in their departments. Only we are restricted to our own department. See, at present, some officers, if they go to the urban development, some officers, if they go to the tribal development department. Earlier, there used to be additional tribal commissioner from the forest department. Nowadays, nobody wants a forest officer. So, if the forest officers are given right place in the bureaucracy, I think many things can be done. I will say, just try somewhere. That at least is not possible, I know. But if you have got forest officer at some other departments, definitely the situation will change. And most importantly, as you said, urban development, I'm not sure how much forest officer will be able to do. But see, municipal corporations in all the urban areas,
Perfect.
urban department and in social justice, if the forest offices go, yes, drastic change will be there in the bureaucracy and drastic change will be there in the social infrastructure.
Wonderful. Anuj, we can try this particular aspect with everybody associated on this platform to push this particular aspect, what Sunil Dada said.
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do that. I think we should now conclude because most of the people have some other commitments. So I would request Harshada to extend a vote of thanks. Harshada?
A very good evening to everyone. As we come to the last leg of today's program, I would just like to propose a very formal vote of thanks. But before that, I would also like to say that the wheels of maybe say adventures or ventures start rolling weeks before. And did COVID-19 bring positive for Nature Walk was this very thing that we got time to design our website beautifully with help of Mr. Kedar Bhatt, and we were able to launch it with all the stalwarts on this platform today. So I would like to thank Mr. Nitin Kakodkar sir, along with Mr. Rajesh Gopal sir, Mr. Sunil Liman sir, Mr. Rajesh Bedi sir, and yes, of course, Mr. Kedar Bhatt for joining us today for this launch and giving your valuable time to the viewers as well. Today, for the very first time, Nature Walk did its Facebook Live along with the Zoom platform meet. Also, I would like to thank our trustees, Shiroe Kaka, Rathi Kaka, Mr. Kiran Purandare, Dipti Khare, and Mr. Pushkar Chaubar, who are always encouraging towards any programs of our trust and always push us to fulfill our goals of spreading the message of wildlife education and wildlife conservation. Along with this, on the Zoom meet today, we had photographers like Mohan Thomas and Mr. Nalla Muthu joining us. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and being here with us. Also, we would like to thank our very own Mr. Sanjay Deshpande, who is almost always supportive of all activities which Nature Walk organizers. Thank you so much. And also thank you to all the viewers who joined us on Facebook today. And the session would be also recorded and will be put on our YouTube channel, that is Nature Walk Charitable Trust. And I would like to make before ending the session. On coming 31st of May, that is this coming Sunday, Nature Walks has organized a session by Mr. Mohan Thomas, their title Wildlife Through My Lens, wherein sir would be sharing his experiences about photography through all these years in different habitats in at different locations. The session would be a webinar on Zoom. Also, it would have a Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube live streaming. And as per Mr. Rajesh Bedi sir, he has promised us that this week during the lockdown for our viewers, sir would be conducting a slideshow on elephants. Thank you so much, sir, for promising us, and also we are looking forward to your session. The details about both the sessions will be uploaded on our was launched just now. I request all of you to definitely visit website and see all the programs by the trust before and which will be conducted by the trust in future. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.